How Aussie business leaders unwind. With the Christmas break upon us, many Australian business leaders and entrepreneurs try to get away for a break to do some thinking, but Jo Burston takes it more seriously than most. Burston, founder of Job Capital, which offers payroll services, migration, salary packaging and contract management, inspiring Rare Birds, a global community for female entrepreneurs, backed by Microsoft, and Phronesis Academy, an online entrepreneurship and innovation course for 18-year-olds, gets away at the end of every year to a remote Fijian island, where she gives herself time to think. There's nothing here, no tourists, it's very basic, eat from the sea in the garden, and I just think, she says. My family fly over to join me later, but I'm very selfish about this me time. They know that I have to remove myself. Burston does not read about business, but keeps it basic. I write a list of 15, 20 people that I want to meet next year, and I pare back my tree of people in my business life who don't add value. I work on philanthropy while I'm here. We're about to deliver a couple of containers of goods to replace things that the schools lost in the September cyclone. I'm not thinking about my businesses in the sense of formal planning, but subconsciously, lots of things are percolating in my mind. It's rest and replenishment. I need it and I don't feel guilty about it because I get back to Sydney on fire and raring to go, she says. Tom Griffith, co-founder of premium health food company Emma and Tums, doesn't quite enjoy that level of solitude, but says the Christmas break allows him to get out of the bubble. You can't afford to say, right, we're going to assess our year and our strategy over the Christmas-New Year break, because when you're growing fast, you've got to be doing on-the-hop strategy the entire time. The business doesn't shut down, of course, but the summer break does give you a chance to sit back and think and get out of your bubble, to get into your metaphorical chopper and go to 30,000 feet, which is invaluable, and that's what I do at the beach. That's really important, says Griffith. We're all in the bubble, we can't help that, but you've got to remove yourself from it to be objective. We find that a lot of our best ideas come from being away from the business, he says. For Griffith, the business becomes part of his summer. Emma and Tom sponsors a series of fun runs on the Victorian coast, and he greatly enjoys that. I'm working, but I'm not, at those events. It really takes you back to the essence of the brand, seeing fit and healthy people having fun. For me, that's a big part of how the summer break recharges the batteries, he says. Anthony Choi, co-founder of Maker's Empire, which has created what it says is the world's easiest to use 3D printing software for the education market, agrees that the Christmas break is the logical time to step back and think about the business. But he says the fact that the school year in its key export markets of the US and Hong Kong is only halfway through limits that luxury. We certainly use the downtime in the Australian school year as time to think about what worked this year and what improvements we can make, but the US school year is only halfway through, so we give that market a lot of attention through this break. Of course, that gives us a natural hiatus in that market from July to September to do the same sort of thinking, says Choi. Fast-growing young businesses can't afford a 50 weeks on, 2 weeks off approach, he says. We don't just plan a year ahead, we have a 3-year rolling strategic plan, and we assess and adjust that not every 6 months. As new opportunities arise, we're set up to be agile and make the adjustment accordingly. But you definitely don't want to be reactive all the time. That's not a good basis for success, which is why we have the rolling 3-year plan in place, says Choi. In January, he says, the Maker's Empire executive team formally reviews and updates the 3-year strategic plan, and it does so again in August, after the US and Hong Kong school year is completed. We're fortunate to have those clear hiatus periods when we can update our 3-year plan to see whether it needs any adjustments, he says. We're just out of the Australian school year now, And we'll all devote time over Christmas New Year to thinking about what went well in the last 12 months and what didn't, he says. When you're in business, it's hard to completely get away from it. This story is produced in partnership with NAB.